Welcome to NextGen Tech Talk, Dhruv.
Thank you, sir. Give me this opportunity to speak on the topics of AI as a student.
Yeah, yeah. Because students are future of tomorrow, isn't
Yes,
it?
sir.
So yeah, so things are getting transformed day by day. Specifically, if you talk about the B.Tech students who are doing their computer science and preparing themselves as a developer programmers, right? So things are getting changed. So I thought, why not direct students from the university just to understand their challenges, what
Yes.
whispers going on there, what people are talking in the campus, so that maybe we can just talk around some of the statement, uh, the ambiguity areas, or maybe you can say some hidden stuff which people are not talking about. And also many times we know we may have multiple questions, but we try to find out the solution or the answer, and we get confused, right? Most of the time. So it's always good that if two people are talking, one is the industry expert and one is who are willing to start their career in near future. So hope our discussion is going to help many of the students around the world, or maybe, right?
Yes, sir.
So Dhruv, you are doing computer science, right?
Yes, sir.
And which year you are in?
I'm currently in second year. I gave just my final year
Perfect.
exams.
Okay. What is your favorite subject, Dhruv?
In the curriculum,
Yeah. So you have
in the curriculum,
multiple.
my favorite subject was actually data structure,
Hmm.
data structures, and Python programming also. Actually, curriculum
Okay.
of university is not that much updated, so very few subjects are there that align with the current scenario.
Exactly. Exactly. That's important. And also, we need to understand, Dhruv, that what we are preparing, right? How we are preparing ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Um, End result is not just writing the code, right? Nowadays, AI can do all the writing of your codes, right? But there are many more, complex things, and decision making, which is more required. So how we are preparing for that, that is more important, isn't it? So couple of quick area which I wanted to explore through with you, that with in this era, specifically we can pick it up from your university, your class. So how like students are reacting on AI and doing the coding these days? Maybe
Uh,
you can talk about what is your thinking, what people are talking about, and all.
uh, AI is a very noticeable thing right now. It is changing a lot what we think, how we live, and how we work. Especially in students' life, it is a revolutionary thing. Actually, it is acting in both positively and negatively. For if I would talk about positive side, uh, it is uh, uh, it is helping us all the students uh, in in researching in it is actually unloading the work. It is
Mm-hmm.
helping to reduce the workload that students face right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
before, we all have to research a lot to just know one thing, but today we can just type on any AI tool like ChatGPT or Gemini, and we could get easily
Mm-hmm.
structured uh, outputs for learning or any other thing. But if we talk about negative, students are right now becoming very overly dependent on AI tools. They are lacking critical thinking, that is very important. They are lacking the system architectural level thinking of web applications building and AIML applications building, and they are over relying on AI from everything, from not just only coding but ideation and etc. We could use AI as a coding assistant, but we should also understand the system architecture. That would be very
Mm-hmm.
helpful in the future itself. So I think these are some things, and yes, students especially are very feared from AI. They have a lot of fear. They have FOMO that they will not gonna get job, etc. But I think
Hmm.
it will be more likely. The competition will be of more likely of students using AI tools and students who are unable to use AI tools, rather than the competition between AI and student itself. Because current scenario AI not completely matchable to human in all aspects. It is
Hmm.
beating humans a lot in many narrow domains, like processing information, as it has a very less constraints of memory and energy also as compared to human. But AI is
Hmm.
lacking emotions, consciousness, morality, ethics, values, and that things are also very important. For example, if I would say, if a surgeon is performing an operation, and if AI is also performing same operation, uh, the doctor will know very better and curate it according to the human being, because he has feelings, emotions, and ethics and values.
Right. Right. Very true. Very true. Dhruv, you have very clear understanding about what's going on, and best part is you are able to pick and choose uh, the movement. So the way you have taken the example, this says that you understand the core of the transformation, that these all tool and technologies are helping hand for human beings, right? It's not that AI can replace the human in all means. As I mentioned, that certain automations, some heavy lifting can be done using machine AI, right? But it's not like it's completely going to replace us. The only thing is we need to think ahead of what AI can, right? So maybe if in simple words, even someone want to create a quick summary of a document, right? So the person has to go through the entire document and then pick and choose what are the major pointers which a person can create as a summary. But at very first level, AI can do the benchmarking, and top of that you can be a reviewer, you can add and modify whatever you want to do. uh, and if you talk about the complex thinking, so one example you have taken very nicely, that if we understand the system architecture, right, and what will be the future, and whenever we talk about the future, so future is something which is imbibed with the data, right? So if data is not there, so what that mean is whatever the data you have provided to a model, so you are getting the response. The way you have trained or training the model, you can expect the result. But what if you have not think through and you have not provided any data points to the model? So you are, like, in that case AI is clueless, right? So definitely there human is a big factor to fill the gap. So it will be always that human will be ahead. And the major point which you have talked about, that if we don't understand, if we are not going with the flow, understanding the AI tool, utilizing the AI tool, equipped with how to utilize, that is also very important. You have various model, right? But you are not able to choose that which is going to help in what means, right? So you are getting fail. And last not the least, specifically if you talk about the healthcare, so that piece which you have taken an example, that human emotion cannot be replaced with AI, right? So if someone is in pain and they are keep on crying that stop, and stop the operation in between, and there are many micro and major touch point, which is very much dependent on the thinking. It's not like whatever you have written and system has to follow step by step and stuff like that. Now within your group, your friends, how they talk, and what are the topics these days, like what are the major topics which you always talk about? one thing I understand, that maybe they are furious about getting the job readiness for the industry and all the stuff. But apart from that, during the class, post class, during the project's creation, right? So anything which you have, you want to recall and share with all.
Uh, the thing that we discuss, something that is different from only jobs perspective of AI, that how technology like AI will gonna impact the society and human life itself. Uh,
Mhm,
as I would say, many people like Jeffrey Hinton, one of the famous scientists who is known as Godfather of AI, himself is
mhm,
saying that AI is very risky to create, and we should develop it responsibly. And we discuss
mhm,
with many of my friends that it's a very important thing to do right now in the national and international level also, that we should standardize and establish some regulatory on AI, because AI is a very powerful tool. It's right, but to develop it responsibly and ethically is also very important. Uh, Ethical AI
correct.
is a new domain that is coming out, and I think companies should work, and nations, the government should also work on it to develop AI responsibly and ethically. That would not
Mhm,
gonna create a danger or bad situation for human beings.
correct. Correct. And this is one, see, it's an ongoing process group. In certain area I was just exploring multi models, where you want to create a video, if you want to create a infographics, few places is perfectly illustrated, but many places still there are gaps. So one thing which you were talking about is the maturity around the AI, and that that is not coming only with the quality of the output, also the points which you have just talked about, like ethical governance, right, check and balances, those are also very critical, because definitely there will be a risk once you breaches the compliances, number one. So there will be a data data sharing exposure and all those stuff, which are going to be critical. There will be always be a threat for a human, right? So I think you are pro. I think understanding all this, you are going in a flow, and you understand all this. I'm happy about that. And anything which you think that very soon, uh, student, or maybe not student, very soon university should introduce a few subject in the curriculum, which
Yes,
is going
I
to help
think
the students.
Yes, I think some subjects like especially related to AI, like deep learning and
Mhm,
machine learning, not only theoretical part, because many universities have that subject, but only in theoretical part. We should also
mhm,
introduce the lab for machine learning itself, for deep learning task itself. That would help the students. And also, I think there should be some subjects or extracurricular activities to help students learn using AI tools like Claude and Gemini
mhm,
and other AI tools
mhm,
to grow and learn, and uh, I would say to compete and stand out with the other people, because
mhm,
students are not able to compete because they are not getting that level of curriculum, that level of subjects in the
mhm,
universities. That is one of the reason. And I
mhm,
think students should focus more on fundamentals right now, because fundamentals will
mhm,
always be helpful, uh, either AI comes or whatever. And especially they should
mhm,
try to make some real world projects. Students are doing very much mistakes, very many mistakes. So they are creating some very basic projects, like in machine learning. If I would talk about basic project is house price prediction, customer churn
mhm.
prediction. These are very basic projects. These are
Correct.
the projects that students create to learn, but to stand
Mhm,
out in internships and jobs, you should create some real world and unique projects.
mhm,
If I could talk about one of my project, I would say that there is a project that I created that name is Rakshak. It's an AI
mhm,
powered women's safety and
Mhm.
risk prediction system. It uses
Mhm.
machine learning, NLP, and a fine-tuned LLM to
Mhm.
finally predict that a woman is in a riskful situation or is in a safe situation, and it works on both
Mhm.
text and voice data. So it could
Okay.
alert the nearby police authorities, the guardians of the user itself, and
Mhm.
nearby user of that particular app or website to uh,
Mhm.
know that with the exact location where the girl or the woman is to help them
Mhm.
such a situation. So these are kinds of unique projects that everyone should try to create, not just basic random projects by watching YouTube tutorials to stand out in the resume and the job filtering process.
Right. Right. Uh, I think very well said, Dhruv. I think being in a race is not just like you should learn what people are doing, right? If what you are innovating out of that, that is more important. How that is going to, change the community, the society, add value. Those are the things which is going to be impactful in future, right? Uh, Now, if I talk about uh, code versus prompt engineering, so how much weightage you give to the coding and how much weightage you give to prompt engineering?
I would say currently uh, 60-40%. Um, I
60.
done 60% of coding myself and 40% with the AI tool, and it could vary
Mhm.
also according to the problem itself. If the problem is having
Right.
some kind of a very basic front end code that it could be
Mhm.
manageable by AI, why should I waste my time? But if there is some very
Right.
logic based code of ML and agentic AI, that part I
Mhm.
try to work myself because it would be easy to later to find bugs and fix them also without using. And yeah, prompting is a very important thing, and people should learn prompt engineering also. Right now there are many free courses available on YouTube. You should know how to talk with AI to get better and better output. That would gonna help you all.
Yeah, very mindful answer, Dhruv. I think you are already getting ready for the industry. If you want to contribute for any project, you will be able to do that. That's not a problem because clarity is more important these days, right? Um, you will have a lot of languages, tools, technology, right? Thesis, journal, everything you have for the references. But the way you think, the you build your clarity around the subject, that is more important, right? So then we say that, okay, what we assess in the interview, this is what we assess, candidate in the interview, that what like how he thinks around the problem statement, right? Whether it's a just one liner question or a scenario based question, the way you articulate, the way you respond, that is more important. Like how much near you are to the solution, that is most important, right? um Couple of the so we are towards the end of this podcast, Dhruv. So I understand you are in second year, right? You have mentioned second year. So what is your plan for next 2 years? Because it's not like the traditional engineering curriculum, the way I have been, in the previous years, 20 years back. Now things has been changed drastically, right? Maybe you have planned something today, but after 6 months, that can be absolute, right? So the picking of the area of interest and the understanding or study material, that is more important. So what all plan you have for the next 2 years for you?
My main aim is to get a work as a remote job, or I want to work in freelancing mode actually, and that is very difficult
Okay.
because it is very competitive. So,
Hmm.
as my interest is very much growing in the AI field itself, I want to go a very deeper level, like LLM engineering
Hmm.
part. I want to
Mhm.
research some domains like fintech. I want to
Mhm.
explore domain like using LLM models specifically for finance and how can we
Mhm.
change things like that. So my main
Mhm.
year goal was to continuously learn more in this AI domain itself to the research level, and I also wanted to get some remote opportunities. I'm looking for it and I'm exploring it. I'm also currently doing an internship, and I'm also looking for some other internship also. And these are my plans to
Okay.
get completely done in the AI field, and would like to contribute to the AI domain itself a lot. That's why I'm also contributing to the open source projects and GitHub and
Mm-hmm.
GSSOC also, and I'm also preparing for GSOC for next
Mm-hmm.
year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now engineer became the problem solver, right? It's no more just a followers that okay, I have the problem statement, I know the solution. You just need to code it, right? So any point of time, if not you, so maybe within your class, how much students have started thinking that they are going to hit the startup, their own startup or entrepreneurship, rather than going into job. So
Very
do you think that there is any change from the previous data?
I would say yes. Startup thinking is growing very fast in the current generation mind because of some special shows like Shark Tank also introduced. So
Hmm.
people are now
Right.
thinking little different. In my college itself, many students, many seniors are starting their own startup, and the institution is also supporting them. So I think it's a
Correct.
very good change that is coming in the India and the Indian young generation also, that would gonna help in the
Hmm.
nation completely.
Hmm. Good. Good. So I think your ears and eyes are around 360-degree, right? So you are watching everyone, what seniors are doing, what industries experts are doing, and specifically at your level, at the university level, you have clear in your thought that this is how I am going to move it, right? So having said that, Dhruv, like India is a country where you know there are very good bonding between parents and their son's daughter, right? Earlier there were a lot of guidance from the parents. Nowadays it's just flipped the side. Now like kids are guiding the parents that okay, these are the upcoming domain which I want to prepare for, right? So at home how you find things like or maybe if not immediate family, so maybe family, friends, relatives, so they give some tips to you during these days while you are in universities.
Definitely, definitely, parents and especially some my uh, older elder brothers also give me, because they are also in the industry, so they give me
Mm-hmm.
the right advice. Parents will always gonna give you right advice. They will never
Right.
gonna give you the wrong advice. They will just gonna give you according to their intelligence. People are
Yeah.
especially in young generation think that parents are always giving wrong advice. That is not right thing. People always try, parents always try to give the right advice. And yes, my brothers gave me the advice to maintain CGPA. They
Mm.
said they are regretting to not focus on the CGPA part, because it initially, as a fresher, some things are there, you don't have a lot of experience in the industry. So
Mhm.
there are a few things that would matter to you initially, like CGPA, the college brand, and etc.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So very nice talking to you, Dhruv. I'm sure that this episode is be inspirational for students around the world, and keep doing good job, good work, Dhruv. I think you are already doing good, but always work for excellence, and keep in touch. I think we can talk again, maybe the future, maybe 6 months or 4 months. By that time, you will have many more things to share to the audience.
Sure,
Okay,
sir.
okay.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Dhruv.
Thank you,
Thank
sir,
you
for
very
giving
much.
me the opportunity.
It's our pleasure to Dhruv, to have you on this platform because this is very important that what people are thinking, how they are evolving, how they are having their own roadmap in the life, that is very important, because many students, many people have the questions, right, but they are not getting to the right person to get the answer. So with that thought, I have started thinking that okay, there should be podcast. There are many things on the social media, right, but related to the education around the tech world, because everywhere is tech, right now. Like AI is not like limited to only the literate people. Even for illiterate people, they are doing their job utilizing the AI, right? So even with the voice command, they can talk in their own language, right? And it can be translated, the task can be performed by AI and all this stuff. So very fast moving life. So it's always good idea to have the discussion, so that we can fill the gap, we learn with each other and all this stuff. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dhruv. Thank you for your time. Have a
Thank you,
great
sir.
day. Good job. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.